Hello, my name is Daniel Ramos, and today I would like to discuss how can we improve the predictability for rotation movements with aligners. So I'm taking this case as an example, and we can discuss about this premolar, which is rotated, okay? And we need to, of course, correct it. We need to move and do this rotation to move to a better position, okay? When we review the literature, right, to understand what are the most predictable movements. We have here a table, right? This article I already presented to you in other videos, and I really like to use as a reference, okay? This article review about the difficult chart of the movements, okay? From where? And we can see that in this table here, when we go see rotations, let me put bigger for you. Okay, we have that for the posterior rotation, as you can see here, we have molar and canine and premolar, in this case a premolar, up to 45 degrees is something predictable. Okay, in this case we have less than 45. If we took a look in the clean check here, we can see that this premolar, the 1.5, has 37 degrees for rotation. Okay, so this is a case that we should have a good predictability, okay? But if we are going to review what are the papers and other articles that are reviewing this kind of information, right? We have this other article here. Has Invisalign improved from Neil Kravitz and her partners, okay? Where we also have a table showing that the predictability for the premolar, okay? You have here second premolar. For rotation, we have a predictability that you can see here that is around 44% of predictability. Okay, meaning that what we plan in the clean check here, we may achieve halfway. So how can we improve this? What are the tips I can provide you to improve the predictability for this kind of movement? First of all, we need to understand one of the basic rules of orthodontics, actually, not only for aligners, but for all kinds of appliances and systems, okay? That for us to move from this initial to this final position, we need space to allow the tooth to rotate from this position that are occupying more space here. Okay, we need to open space to create this rotation, otherwise we won't be achieving this successfully. Okay, so the number one tip is to always open space before we start the rotation movement. In this case, we need to distalize a little bit the molar. Okay, this plan, when we bring the ideal final position in blue, okay, and compared to initial, we need to distalize around 1.2 millimeters the molars, okay. So for us to open space, and since we need to distalize, we use the sequential movement to do this distalization. So we are first distalizing the second molar, to then distalize the first molar, and when we open a space here so the plastic can hold the crown and improve the retention over the crown, only at this moment we start the movement to correct the rotation. Okay, so here we have space mesial and distal, so the plastic can hold better the crown and allow the tooth to move with more predictability. Another tip that we are doing for cases like this, we are always overcorrecting a little bit, some degrees, at least 10 degrees more the rotation as an overcorrection, understanding that for rotation we don't have, again, 100% of predictability, and I'm going to repeat myself, we don't have for any kind of movement. Okay, so we have the tip number one, opening space, in this case with sequential movements, to then start the movement, overcorrect the rotation, and the third tip, and also very important, something that orthodontists they know from a long time, we need to create a binary force. And in this case, how we did this, placing one attachment in the buccal surface and another attachment in the lingual surface. Okay, I decided to use a rectangular horizontal attachment here, and since we are rotating the crown distal, the flat surface was to mesial, okay? And in the palatal side, we use a vertical one, so we can have a bigger distance from this area on the distal to the attachment, so we can promote this movement with more predictability. Okay, so in this case, after we finish this set of aligners, okay, and getting here to our quality control, where you can compare with the actual situation, this is the outcome so far. Okay, so bringing here initial and final in this comparison, we could achieve a good correction of the rotation using these strategies here. Okay, considering the ideal final position, we still need to distalize a little bit more, as we can see here, but now this is a much simpler movement that we're going to finish this case with the anteriors already in a good position. This is just fine-tuning with another refinement, and this case is done. Okay, so for us to remember, next time you have a case that you need to do rotation with aligners, remember that opening space mesial and distal is very important. Remember that overcorrecting in at least 10 to 15 degrees, this rotation movement is recommendable. And finally, place two attachments, one in the buccal, other in the palatal, so you can have a better binary force there to correct this rotation. Okay? See you in the next tip. Bye-bye.